Hi, folks. I'm Katie Campbell-Nelson, and I manage the Professional Development Grant Program with Nevin Dawson. I'm in Greene County, New York, and Nevin is in Caroline County, Maryland. I have a background as an agricultural educator. I taught for the Stockbridge School of Agriculture, and I was a vegetable extension educator in Massachusetts. And I love working with service providers, community educators, and farmers. I know that to be good at our jobs, we need to spend time on professional development, and that's why I love this grant program. This grant program is for the benefit of service providers who primarily work with farmers. It can also be for service providers who are learning to work with farmers. For example, lawyers or real estate agents who are learning about farm succession planning, or even farmers themselves who are learning to train other farmers. Total funding for this grant program is about $1 million this year, and typically grants come in with budgets around $30,000 to $150,000 each. This is Northeast SARE's least competitive grant program, and about 80% of the pre-proposals are invited to submit full proposals. Then 50% of those full proposals end up getting funded. So you should definitely apply to keep Nevin and I busy. We get about 25 applications per year, and in the end, we've funded anywhere from 5 to 10 projects each year. Currently, the Research and Education Grant Program and the Professional Development Grant Program are the only two Northeast SARE grants that use performance targets. Research and Education grants target behavior change in farmers, while professional development grants target behavior change among service providers. In this grant program, the performance target has 3 parts. The first is a number of service providers who will take action as a result of participating. The second part is the action that the service providers will take to assist farmers. And the third are the number of farmers who are assisted. So check out this example. 17 tribal farm staff offer workshops to 150 subsistence and direct market farmers in 6 tribal nations. You may also include an optional farmer performance target. And in this example, you'll see that 40 of these farmers will implement something they learned in these community classes. It's common that the number of farmers who end up implementing something are fewer than the number who learn about it due to lack of resources or just because a new practice can be hard to implement. I wanted to share with you an example of a strong proposal and project. The Northeast Climate Adaptation Fellowship to support vegetable and fruit farmers is led by project leader Rachel Shatman at the University of Maine. And this was a strong proposal because it described the relationship between the service providers and farmers very well. Reviewers really liked the peer aspect of this project. Service providers were partnered with farmers to plan, to design, or even to implement a climate adaptation strategy. For example, in this photo, which was sent to me by a pocket dial, a farmer fellow worked with a service provider to design and implement this no-till strategy. The tractor bucket is knocking down, and this roller behind is knocking down yellow sweet clover, which was then covered with a tarp, and this sequestered carbon in the soil rather than releasing it through tillage. The yellow sweet clover then released nitrogen to the subsequent crop of brassicas. The farmer learned a lot about weed management, and this was a practice they wouldn't have been able to try unless they had support of this project. Another reason this was a strong proposal is because it connected service providers and farmers from 12 different states. And lastly, this Climate Adaptation Fellowship included a strong education plan and team of educators. Thanks for listening, and be in touch.